Hello and welcome to the Money Show, where money stop being confusing and start working for you. Today in this show, we focus on an important retirement question. Where should you live after retirement? Should you stay in your familiar home and neighborhood or move to a senior living community that offers better support, healthcare, and companionship? And just like we ask, will my money last? Should we also ask, where and how do I want to live as I grow older? To discuss this, I'm joined by a very special guest today, Harsh Roongta, founder of Fee Only Investment Advisor and a SEBI registered investment advisor. Thank you so much, sir. Harsh, sir. Welcome to the Money Show.
Thank you, Anurag. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, to our viewers also, if you have any other query related to the personal finance, mutual fund, investment, our WhatsApp number is flashing on the screen. The WhatsApp number is 865-797-4571. You can also email your query to themoneyShow@etnow.tv. The QR code also you can scan. It's very easy to scan this QR code and you can send your all personal finance related query, mutual fund related query, query related to your retirement. We'll get it answered from India's top experts. So moving on our today's topic, retirement, senior living. Harsh sir, I just want to start with you. Do you think that the senior living concept in India is picking up? Because we are in Mumbai, and when we go toward the Igatpuri side or toward the Pune side, you will come across a lot of senior living projects, and in that senior living projects also, there's a very good traction also.
So I think as India's starts aging, and we are very far away from having an aging population, lekin because our sheer numbers are so huge, right? We are 150 crore people or 145 crore people. 1 in 10 people are senior citizens today, and that number is scheduled to go up dramatically. So the sheer number of people who are senior citizens is huge, and a lot of them have disposable wealth at their, they have disposable wealth, which means that they can choose where they want to stay. And, clearly real estate developers are catering to that by building, senior friendly infrastructure. The facilities are specifically designed for senior citizen. Accessibilities, emergency response in case somebody gets ill, assisted living, facilities for assisted living where, attendants can be available, nursing facilities can be available, even long-term care where, literally, if one of the couple is bedridden, then some kind of facilities, all those are today available. And, people are thinking about whether they should shift to these facilities on a permanent basis. So I think there are lots of factors that go into whether one should shift or not. But clearly, it is a
To share
thought
with you, sir,
that is
the recent data,
uppermost.
the latest research data, by 2050, more than 20% of India's population could be a senior citizen, and the 20% of Indians may need retirement income for 20 to 25 years, longer than many currently plan for, because overall mortality is also increasing. So are we ready for this size 20% of India's population? Because presently more than 35% is a young population, less than 35. But in 2050, just 25 years down the line, more than 20%, it could be 25% also will be senior citizen, and they will also require income for next 20-25 years.
I mean, you raised, as I said, today also, the number of senior citizens are about 12 or 13 crore senior citizens that are living, and that number is going to grow to 30 crores. The sheer number, okay, that is huge. And a lot of them, of course, have an income issue, and that is something that is being discussed. But today, I think we are discussing about that portion of the senior citizens for whom probably the income is not as much of a worry, who probably have the resources to, you know, plan for their 25, maybe even 30 years of retirement, but who are struggling in deciding where they want to live. I think that really was what we are discussing today.
Completely, sir. Completely. I just got a data to share with you, sir. So in retirement planning, we often ask, "Will my money last?" So, do you think that we should also be asking, where and how do I want to live after retirement? That is also important consideration should be there while planning the retirement.
Absolutely. So a lot of our clients are either nearing retirement or are already retired. And this is one common recurrent theme, and of course, our clients don't have an issue with resources. But very clearly, this is one decision that they struggle with. Typically, those who are about to retire have these romantic notions of escaping out of the city and living amid nature where they will garden and go on long walks and happily walk into the sunset. I mean, that's sort of a romantic notion people have. And that's where, I mean, all these projects also come in. They're very well designed, I mean, clearly. And it has several advantages. So, when people go to live there permanently, you're talking of living in a community where people are of similar age and at a similar stage of life with probably similar interests. So, and you have this opportunity to make friends anew. People typically in India spend so much time at their workplace, especially the males, that they have very little friends left by the time they retire. And this becomes an opportunity when they move to those homes. This becomes an opportunity for them to make new friends or people who are at a similar stage of life. Also, because the facilities are there, they are much less dependent on children or extended family because all facilities are available there. And a lot of facilities are available there. But it seems that there is no disadvantage at all. Think about some of the disadvantages that I want to talk about in this. One, of course, that people who have lived in city all their life, whilst they find it good to go and stay 15 days in nature, 30 days in nature, but uprooting yourself completely and going to a even among nature, even if it is in a very good place, uprooting yourself means you're uprooting yourself out of your entire daily routine, whatever friends you have left, family, friends, definitely friends, because if they are of your own age, their ability to come to the outskirts of the city where most of such homes are typically there, okay, is very limited. So you're likely to lose touch with them. Even your family to visit could be an issue. So the support of an
The
extended
three
support is
biggest
something that
advantage,
is
sir, as per your understanding, what are the three biggest advantage of senior living community? So help us understand three biggest advantage. Then I will come to three disadvantages also.
the three biggest advantages. One, I think the infrastructure is meant for senior citizens, right? So, I mean, from simpler things like anti-skid tiles and, railings everywhere and ramps everywhere so that wheelchairs can move easily, okay, to having people who can come and clean up your apartment, to having people who can come and cook for you, order your food, have attendance, medical attendance. So that kind of infrastructure, it is made for the seniors. Okay. The second, as I was mentioning, is that you are in a community with people at similar stage of their lives. So, you can really make new friends, especially for people who have spent their entire life working and have not had the time to keep up with old friends. For them to now go and stay in such a community, they have the opportunity of making new friends and they have the time to do so. And the activities, there are a lot of common activities, so you can find people who have common interests, say maybe music, maybe singing, could be physical exercise, could be anything, and you go through those activities and sort of make friends. And best, it has very little dependence on your children or your extended family. The facilities are there to take care of you. So I think those are the some of the biggest advantages of living in a senior home, as they are
But
coming out.
that comes with a premium cost also. So when you talk about the real estate also, if you go to Igatpuri or Pune, all that senior living societies or senior living homes, the real estate cost is there with a premium of 50%, which includes a notional cost also. Will you agree with my point?
I think it will depend on the property itself, but obviously, when the developer is doing this, obviously he will target the market that he is. So, more the premium you pay, the better. So, if Igatpuri is considered as a premium location, I personally love Igatpuri. It's a lovely place. So, it will be at a premium. So obviously, whatever is the base cost in Igatpuri, that will be there. Plus, there will be a small premium on top of that for a well-designed senior. So yes, there will be a premium.
Time for a short break now. We'll continue our discussion after this short break. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back after the break. Today we are discussing important issue with Harsh Roongta, founder of Fee Only Investment Advisor. So moving on, Harsh sir, I just want to understand from you. Okay, and sir, help us understand three disadvantages, because we started with that only three advantages and three disadvantages for moving from your family or your locality to a senior living, because the emotional cost is also involved in it.
So you are literally uprooting yourself from whatever social life you have led. So there are people, of course, who have spent a lot of time traveling around, haven't really made a very serious social ties, but a lot of people have to uproot themselves. They have doctors that they go to, they have routines, they have shops. I mean, everything, the entire support ecosystem changes. Yes, it is available in the senior living home, but you are uprooting yourself. Because most of these senior living homes tend to be in the outskirts, you must remember that whatever friends you have, they are likely to be of the same age, and therefore you're likely to lose touch with them if you permanently move to a senior living home. Your family and children will probably also be able to visit less. So, I mean, the distance is the issue. The other emotional impact, the biggest thing, and this is an experience that has been narrated to me by a client, is that because you are living in a community of, older people, the chances of them falling sick and or passing away, and the chances of conversations tending towards sickness, etc., are very high than what they would be if you are living in a community that consists of various age groups. And this particular client of ours actually had gone to live and then decided to return back. He had fortunately not sold his main house. He came back saying that this was something that reminded him too much of his own mortality. And this is it's not an unserious issue. I mean, it is a serious issue that one needs to think about. Another thing which we've not come across personally is that what works well for you at 65 may not work so well for you at 85, because by the time you are 80 or 85, the the mobility is much less, and therefore whatever was facilities becomes difficulty, because accessibility of these senior homes, access to medical, uh, more important medical resources, more complex medical resources might be an issue. So that also, what time frame you are planning for? Is it a permanent move versus it being a move for maybe 6 months or a year to see whether it works out for you? I think those are some of the things that one needs to think about. These are some of the disadvantages that one needs to think about.
Okay, sir. Sir, because you must be advising your clients. So, apart from the purchase price, what are the recurring cost and financial commitment someone should evaluate before moving to a senior living community?
So I think my understanding, this is that there can be various models of a senior living community. One is where the sale happens like any other real estate sale, and any of the facilities are charged for extra, but those facilities exist, and that is important, right? Uh, so there the recurring costs are paid basically for maintenance, that like you would pay in any society in Bombay. Okay, but plus any facilities you use, you pay on a per use basis. But now larger number of such properties are also being available on what I think, I am not exactly aware of the terminology, but you can think of them as a long-term lease sort of a facility where you pay a amount which will keep changing, it keeps increasing, plus you pay for any specific facilities that you use. And they may include completely the food might be included, stay might be included, some services might be included, some services might have to be paid for extra, and obviously the cost keeps going up. But there the advantage is that you're not blocking capital completely, and your children don't have to deal with the real estate after you are gone, because you were just a tenant. There was no you're not bought the property, so all those hassles are not there in such a property. So it will be expensive. Better the facilities, more expensive it's bound to be.
Okay. Sir, so in coming year, do you think there will be a lot of new startups coming up in a senior living space? And as per your understanding, which kind of new innovations are also required in a senior living space?
So I think there are already a fair amount of startups that are there, that are obviously, most of them are catering to the well-off senior citizens, or the well-off children of those senior citizens, because you today have a nuclear family where the children are not staying with the parents. So it's not like the old Hindi films that we saw where somebody left their parents in a old age home. The stigma of an old age home, ओके, वृद्धाश्रम इसमें उसमें जाके अपने माता पिता को छोड़ दिया. आई थिंक दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आर gone now. These are things that where people choose to go themselves, and it is expensive, as you have been pointing out. So the senior facilities, now the new startups basically are offering all kinds of, there are people who will look in on your parents, etc., for people who are not in the same city, not in the same country. There are people who will take the senior citizens to doctor's appointments and bring them back. Okay, I mean, all kinds of concierge facilities are today available. Those startups are already there, and I'm sure as the more moneyed people as they become older, okay, there will be more such facilities that will keep coming up.
Okay. So, whatever discussion we are doing about the senior living concept and senior living communities, it's mainly as of now, presently for the well off families, those who can afford it, those who have saved a huge amount of corpus and they want to spend in their after their retirement year. But there is a large section of society who has not saved that much of amount, but they will also require that senior living space. So what can be solutions for that section of society also, who are not completely below poverty line and not in the affluent society or affluent class of the society, but somewhere it's a missing middle type of situation?
The missing middle is huge, Anuga. Okay. And I mean, so whether you take the missing middle or you take people below the missing middle, this is a huge problem which is only going to become bigger. Okay. The government money is being chased by a number of priorities today, whether it is, and even those priorities, whether it is education, whether it is health, etc., very clearly we are falling short. And whether the government will have the resources to be able to cater to even the people below middle. So the missing middle, the government is clearly not catering to. Okay, even whether they will have funds or whether they will have the political will to cater to those below the middle, I think is going to be a big issue in the future, especially